Welcome back to Eating Elephants. Today is another special episode. We've got Rick Leathers from the CEO Toy Box popping in and just talking to us not only about his own journey leading him into sales and marketing, but the actual software of the CEO Toy Box itself and how it will allow you to streamline your business and stay in contact with your target audience and continue to build your customer base through automation. Many times people forget about automation, I think, and how important it is to respond to your customers on time and keep track of their information so that you can generate future business. That's exactly what the CEO Toy Box does. It generates business by allowing not only for you to communicate with your base very quickly, but to then develop some sort of email list or phone list that you can regularly use to do blast, right? And promote your product. Rick came and sat down with me and told me all about the software, and we also went into a couple different topics. So, with no further ado, here's Rick Leathers with the CEO Toy Box.
Copeland Keys.
CEO Toy Box.
Yeah, man, absolutely. So CEO Toy Box is a digital marketing platform, and really, what we do, man, we sell people marketing systems in essence, right? So in this day and age, as small business owners, and it's perfect because eating elephants, man. So like, in my opinion, if you're an entrepreneur, that's exactly what you're doing. Like you attempting to eat an elephant, bro, and it can be overwhelming. A lot of people jump in, and so um, what the reason I created it is because as people try to eat these elephants, bro, it's like you got to chunk that thing down one bite at a time. And so CEO Toy Box takes care of that marketing piece. So we put together a marketing system to take a lot of that stuff off of your plate and to make it more easy and more bite sized for people to be able to do that kind of stuff.
So kind of like helping smaller businesses scale up with software, right? So
Absolutely,
is there
absolutely.
is there like a particular niche that this fits? Is there a certain type of industry that should be using the CEO Toy Box?
Yeah, man. And so that's a great question. So I launched this thing a few months ago, right? And the niche that we tackling first, right? So in essence, I'll say this: if you're a small business owner, the best way to go is to niche down, to talk to a specific person. So CEO Toy Box is all about marketing, right? So my advice is all I'm taking my own advice right now. So the best thing is always to niche down, to be speaking to a specific customer and solving a specific problem for that person. So, but when I launched, I didn't take my own advice, bro, and that's just being transparent. I was like, man, I can help all business owners. Like these tools are so dope. Everybody needs it, which they do, right? And so right now, what I'm doing is I'm launching so CEO Toolbox is live right now. All the tools are out there. If you're a small business owner, I'll talk a little bit more about what it does and how you can get it. But right now, I'm launching a specific product for employee based salon owners.
Okay.
Right. So I'm going through, like I said, going back, taking my own advice and saying, man, I need to speak to a specific person. Why that? Because that's what I am. Like, you know what I mean? I own an employee base, two locations in Kansas City, and so it's like I know what they need. Like I know how they gonna use
So let me pause.
systems.
So I don't have hair, so I'm not very familiar with the local salons or even national. But as a male, what got you into I guess the beauty industry, right?
Yeah, nah, good question, man. It was my wife. My wife brought me into it. So so at one point in time I was running a State Farm agency. I was the State Farm agent guy, you know what I mean? Like a good neighbor. And so at that time she's always been a cosmetologist, and I've always been very entrepreneurial, and so we connected, man. I saw what she was doing and I said, is there a way to make that more scalable? Is there a way to tweak that business model? We start looking at like the issues that exist within specifically the black owned hair salon space. And we said, well, all those pain points that exist in there, we're gonna like attack them. We're gonna be like they don't like long wait times, but how can we switch that up? They don't like unprofessional, conversation and like all these different things. We said, well, how can we tackle those? And within Savvy Salon, how could we do it different, right? So that's really how I got slowly sucked into it, and then eventually it was like, bro, I'm going all in on this because it is a really cool space and it's a unique space to be in, and it's just right for change right now, man. So that's how we jumped into that.
Huge. So,
Yeah.
and I know, just and being ambitious, right,
Mm-hmm.
is really sometimes what leads us down the path. And not to get away from CEO Toy Box, but I know, in particularly, for anybody who's in the beauty industry, how can the CEO Toy Box affect their day to day? Like, what kind of features does it offer to be able to say, hey, if you use this, it's going to streamline this or make this easier?
Yeah, man, that's good. So I look at it like this. I got 4 R's, bro. And this is whenever I talk to somebody and we get on a call, whatever, or if I'm talking about marketing from a small business perspective. And the first thing we look at that the CEO Toy Box is gonna help with is reputation at the bottom, right? So as a small business owner, especially as a hair salon, reputation is everything, right? So 80% of people before they go out and buy anything from any company that they never dealt with, they looking on Google, they checking them reviews, they looking on Instagram, they doing all of those things, right? And so how do you show up to make sure that, you got this person who got 4.1 stars and they got 7 reviews, and you got this person over here got 4.8 stars and they got, 100 reviews. Who you picking?
Right.
Hands down, you picking this person. So a piece of it is that reputation. So that's reputation management. That's website, making sure that it's clean, making sure that when people see you. That's also a feature that we call missed call text back. So all that means is if you a busy entrepreneur, bro, you working, or you a hairstylist, you own a salon, people call your phone, oftentimes they're gonna get that voicemail, right? So we got a feature that automatically sends them a text message that says, hey, I saw I missed your call. And it starts to automate asking questions to make sure that you keep them on the hook so they don't go to the next person, right? And in that way, whenever you get done, you can go back and say, oh, shoot, I got this person. They've been texting my automated system. Now it can jump in and pick up from there. So that's that reputation piece, bro. And then if you go up a step from that is resale. So the other thing is, as a small business owner, as a salon owner, you want people to come back. Like, the only way you grow a business is if you got, you can charge more, or you can have your customers that you already have to come back more often. You know what I mean? So a piece of that is, how do you build systems around making sure that people don't just come to you once, right? And so we got a whole suite of systems and tech that helps you to reach out to people automatically, invite them back in. So there's a whole suite around that resale.
So this is kind of like AI a little bit.
Yeah, to a certain extent, right? So with AI, is more like the machine is doing the thinking. Well, what we doing with automation is more so, we like, so for instance, and this is why I'm going specifically in the salon industry, because it's like, we've done all the thinking around what works and what doesn't work, right? So we built out the system, right? So then you can plug this and you can plop this down within your business, and it's going to do all the right things, the things that work already, right? And so you really don't have to think about it because we put the automations. We know when they text in, you can respond this or respond that. Right. So for us, for a salon owner who wants to grow their business, and get more exposure, we already know the stuff that works, so you can take this and plop this down within your business. Now we plan to build these types of systems with other businesses, right? And so, and the thing about CEO Toy Box is, as it stands, like right now, you can go to ceotoybox.com and you can go and get a subscription. Now, if you savvy enough, right, the people, you go in and build your own system around it, and we'll help you to build out that system. So don't think if you're not a salon owner, then it just ain't for you, because you can build out the tools are there. It's just a matter of building out the system.
Because it had me thinking about, like, anybody who works with 2 hands.
Yeah.
Studio engineers, right? People
Absolutely.
who own studios. Just
Absolutely.
being able to, respond to that customer to let them know, hey, I'm attentive to your needs. Mm-hmm. Someone will be hitting you up. And, automation is something I think, for smaller business owners, maybe people who don't have a full salon or a full studio, it's huge to help them, compete, with the larger Paul Mitchells and the people of that nature.
Absolutely, because you don't have a receptionist. You know what I mean?
Right.
You don't have. So when somebody hits you up, you can have that. They can still get that touch. You know what I mean? They can still get that person. Or when somebody leaves your salon or leaves your business, you can still have them to automatically get a request to go and leave a review, right? Because that's one of the big things that lead to more reviews. It's like, you got to actually go in and be like, hey, bro, can you leave me a review, or text them or whatever. Well, you ain't got the time to do that because you on to the next project if you're a busy entrepreneur. And so it's important to have systems set up that just does that stuff on autopilot for you. You know what I mean?
For all my entrepreneurs watching, I mean, reviews are the key to the future, right? Reviews are what tells other consumers that this place is halfway decent. Yeah. Maybe we take some, reviews with a grain of salt, but that's a huge thing. Mm-hmm. And, being a business owner, making those tools, I know you're also a part of the Kansas City Gifts panel, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm on their board of directors, man, and fantastic organization, bro. It's probably one of the things I enjoy most with my off time outside of spending time with my kids and my family. Working and serving with that organization has been dope because they serve Black-owned entrepreneurs, Black-owned businesses within within Kansas City's inner city. So everything east of Truce, pretty much. And you know what I mean? We're one of 21 hyper segregated cities in the nation, right? And so, man, it's time for us to pour some money back into those areas, into those people, bro. And so and the cool thing is we sit down, I get a chance to interview all these businesses that come in there. And so we see a ton of different business owners, and it's some amazing entrepreneurs in Kansas City. Yeah, definitely. And they got some dope ideas and some dope stuff, and so it's just cool to be able to help them out.
I think that's huge. I mean, because even with being that you're dealing with beauty supplies, African American population is the largest consumer of that product, right? Absolutely. Of beauty supplies and services and things of that nature. So, helping the urban community sometimes be able to sell their own products to their own people is a big thing. Sure. And let me ask you, so what was the original plan? Because I know, we went from insurance agent to, salon owner, multi-salon owner, to actually owning an application that helps people, achieve some of the same success you have. But, coming out of high school and college, what did 18-year-old Rick Leathers think he'd be doing today?
Well, I think like most of us, I didn't know. You know what I mean? I had that ambition. I knew that I didn't want to. I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I knew that within the fiber of my bones. At 13 years old, I remember people would be like, "What you want to do when you grow up?" And I was like, "I don't know, but I don't want to work for somebody." And that caught a lot of people. They threw them off. Like, "What do you mean?" Right. But I had, my mom. She was like, "Hey, you going to So my pops, right? He said to my older brothers, "When y'all turn 18, y'all either going to military or going to college, but you ain't about to be staying here living in my basement." So he put that, he laid that down from the get-go. And so I sat there and I watched them both go to the military, one to the Army, one to the Navy. I said, bro, I'm not doing that. Because they came out, as soon as they came out, George Bush, that's when 9/11 happened.
Oh, man.
Right? So right after they go in, 9/11, I'm at Ruskin High School. I'm watching, they shut the school down. I'm like, bro, my brothers is, you know what I mean? They they about to be deployed right now. I said, I'm not doing that, right? So naturally, I went to college, bro, and when I got down there, I wanted to be an engineer because, everybody said, engineers make a lot of money and that's what you need to do, engineer, lawyer, doctor. But I found out, bro, that wasn't for me. My brain didn't work like that. I love people. I love processes. But I didn't really get down with that. And so naturally it was, I went into that business management, right? So I went down there to University of Missouri and majored in business management. And that was the best thing that could ever happen. I can't tell you how many people I know that went to school and got a degree in something and they're not doing it to this day. And that's cool. I understand that. I just feel blessed that, I'm actually doing the stuff that I went to school for. You know what I mean? Right. So yeah.
I think that's a big thing. It's time. It's a very important metric. Yeah. So spending that time. Where did you go to school?
University of Missouri, man, in Columbia.
Okay, you went to MU.
Yes, sir.
There we go. That's, yes, sir. And that's super cool. Especially with, everything going on. Well, I guess they weren't in the SEC when.
We was Big 12, baby. I ran track down there, too. We was smashing KU, K-State, smashing all them boys.
Yeah, and then after they left from the Big 12,
it's a little different story.
It's been some dark days, MU.
A little different story.
I remember how hard they pushed to get there, too. They really pushed.
They wanted to get there. It was a money play. You know what I mean?
Understood.
It was a money play. And, it's all good. Understood. I would have rather kept that KU-MU rivalry. My son's going to KU next year in the fall, so it is what it is, though.
Huge. And I know being in marketing, in media, kind of, crossing. I don't know if you watched the news. Mm-hmm. But, I don't know if you saw Don Lemon.
Man.
and Tucker Carlson and the CEO of NBC, they all lost their job.
Man, that's wild, man. And so it's like, I don't know where this comes from. Like I did see it. I'm be honest with you. Um, it's interesting. It's almost like these two people are on two opposite spectrums, representing, the American people. You got Tucker on this side, who, he say some polarizing stuff. You got Don Lemon, who of course I rock with, but he say some polarizing stuff as well. And so I don't know if it's just an effort to be like, let's take out these guys on the both far left, far right. I don't know, bro, but
I think it was even. I think it's even. It was kind of like, well, if these guys are fueling a rhetoric, let's remove them for maybe, hopefully, the sake of the greater good of America.
But that just kind of says like these two different, because these are two. It was CNN and Fox, right?
Right.
And these are two different networks.
And then I believe NBC's vice president got fired as well. So it was a whole.
So who's pulling the strings? Like, that's my question.
It's a big thing. I think one big thing, like, even getting back to the CEO toy box in America, that is kind of the thing. The people are very much in control, and the people are able to be heard in so much of a different way than they ever were in the past.
It is, man. And so like, for instance, specifically with entrepreneurs and with the marketing system, what I tell people is like, you can use social media. One of the things I hear when we interviewing small businesses, like with Gift and all of that, we interview hundreds of small businesses, and everybody's on the consensus that you use social media to market, right? It just is what it is. Yeah, of course you do. Everybody's there. That's where all the attention is. That's what you use. But as entrepreneurs, we got to figure out, like, right now, you gotta use that, but then you got to build your own list, right? So you got to really start to control your own audience, man. And so for the entrepreneur who can pull their target market out of social media and put them on their own list, grab their name, phone number, and email, those are people who's going to blow up. Those are people who's going to have consistent business, right? Consistent paychecks and consistent purchases, because now you don't have to depend on what Mark Zuckerberg is going to do or what what they're going to do. You can send emails out consistently, right? You can tweak your subject lines and make them eye-catching and make them appeal to your target market. You don't got to worry about paying for ads, or if the algorithm is gonna do what you wanted to do or whatever. So it's always good that you can send text, SMS text, SMS messaging is huge as well right now in business. So to be able to send that text message to somebody and say, hey, I got a sale going on. Like, and so when you talk about those audiences, man, for entrepreneurs, it's just big to figure out how you can have an audience that you own, because that's a huge asset for your business. You know what I mean?
I think that's big the youth has really confused marketing with social media, because social media, the algorithm, the moderators, they're all, it's not based on quality, it's based on attention. So if what you're putting out isn't getting people's attention, even if you had 1 million followers, you're only getting a very marginal, spot. Like you said, offloading those followers onto mailing lists, group chats, even like Facebook groups have, if you have 1,000 people, at least you get to notify 1,000 people instead of, fishing through impressions. And for people who don't know what impressions are, impressions is just how many times someone sees your post, and reach is how many people it puts your post in front of. Absolutely. Engagement is going to be like the likes, the comments, the shares, people just clicking on it. And those metrics kind of, put you on a shelf. And if it was that easy, right, everyone's business would be successful and everyone would be multimillionaires.
And with the likes and the follows, man, I see people all the time. They got 100,000, 500,000 followers, right? But then they have a business that they running as well. Well, if those 500 followers are not your target market, then those 500 followers are more so just for show. Like you may have like, so like if I'm a fitness model, right, and I got a fitness brand, and I'm a female, I'm not picking on females, but if I'm a female and I look good and I got all this stuff going on, but if I got 300 dudes following me just because they thirsty and they want to see, that's not going to translate to dollars, because they're not about to buy you or whatever it is. And so it's really important to look at that and to know, like, that's cool, right? But from a business standpoint, the attention don't always necessarily turn into dollars, but that's what we got to figure out. That's what good marketing is how do I turn that attention into dollars in my pocket, right? Yeah, or
That's even like with this pod, right? Affiliate
Yeah.
marketing is, I think, the goal of most platforms are for people to find products. And I think the really affiliate marketing with people like Kylie Jenner, people like Rihanna, who basically were able to, use social media to make themselves billionaires off being able to just market to their tribe, so to speak, to their people. And I think that's one thing that CEO Toy Box really does is kind of helps bring your people together in another place that's more close knit by creating that list and creating that instant interaction. Rick, I appreciate you coming out, my brother.
Yeah, bro.
Before we leave, is there anything you wanted to say to the people of Eating Elephants?
Yeah, absolutely. All right.
Yeah, you're looking up.
All right. Cool. Yeah, absolutely. Listen, CEOToybox.com. If you're a business owner, you're an entrepreneur, and you are looking for a marketing system, something to plug into your business that's going to help you communicate with your people better, that's going